Today is Thursday, July 14th. It's currently 10:35 and I am going to do a little get ready with me because I want to film some TikToks today and I figured this would be a good time to give you a little update because I have some huge news. I am pregnant. I am so excited about this. Like, my husband and I are thrilled. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting ready. I posted the announcement pictures yesterday for me. I don't know when I'm gonna post this video, but that was like so exciting, making it like real to the public and to everyone else. My families, like our families have known for about a month. Yeah, over a month now, but we haven't said anything online, so I have been filming lots of TikToks and just saving them in my draft, so I've got a lot of like content ready to go, and I have been filming like weekly pregnancy videos. Well, not like weekly, but updating on the weeks. So I have like 2 to 3 weeks like combined. Another exciting thing is we like redid our bathroom. I'll probably show that in a different video because I have the camera very like interestingly propped up. It's not very secure, but I'm gonna be like putting my makeup back into my regular space. I've been living out of my travel case. Not like I've been doing my makeup like ever. The first time I did it was yesterday for the pictures, and it's like crazy that I'm gonna do it like 2 days in a row. I thought I would kind of talk you through our little journey because in the first video that I filmed, gosh, I don't even know how far along I was. I was maybe like 5 or 6 weeks. I don't think I actually talked about our like trying to conceive process. So for anyone who doesn't know, my name's Rachel. It's kind of weird to say. My husband and I are 26. We got married at the end of October last year, 2021, but we have been together since the end of May 2015. So we have been together for 7 years at this point. And we've lived together for, I want to say like 3.5, almost 4 years. We met in college and then moved in together. We bought this house and then got married. And I have always known since I was very little that like, not like my purpose, but that like my one desire in life was to be a mom. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I am a teacher, but I never really wanted to work. I just wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom and have kids and family, and like I've been obsessed with watching like pregnancy videos and like weekly updates on YouTube and stuff since I was probably, I don't know, 14, 15 years old. A long time. And when I met Joe, well, not when I met Joe, but once we started living together and we had been together for years and it was like really serious and I knew like eventually we would get married, it was like baby fever. And every couple months, maybe not that soon, but especially when it got closer to like real time, I would get these waves of like extreme baby fever where I was like, we need to have a baby. Like I physically cannot wait. But I knew that there were certain things I wanted to do beforehand. Like I wanted us to have a house first. We bought our house the end of August 2020. So that was one check mark. But I also knew that I wanted to be married first. And just to like get that out of the way, right? We had been together for a long time and like weren't engaged until May of 2021 last year. So we had a really short engagement. But after we got engaged, I was really like, I need a baby. I need a baby. And kind of right around the time that we got married, like immediately after, Joe started really feeling that way too. He was just like, I want to have a baby. I want to have a baby. And I was like, oh my God, dude, you do not need to be telling me this if we're trying to like wait a little bit longer to maybe save up more money or to do house projects or whatever. Like, you better chill, because I had kind of like, he had talked me out of wanting a baby like at that point, and then he started saying it, and so I was like, oh gosh. But the thing that made it easier to not like immediately have a baby was I had an IUD, which was incredible. Totally recommend if you're looking into a different birth control option or just birth control in general. That was like incredible. I loved it. But, you know, it's not just a pill that you can stop. It's something that lasts for a long time. You have to like get a doctor's appointment to have it removed and all of that stuff. And then I had read that, you know, some people have no problem whatsoever getting pregnant after. Some people, I read, don't get their period for a month afterwards, and therefore it takes a lot longer to conceive after like an IUD or just birth control in general. And I had been on it for almost 5 years. So it was about time, not quite, to get it removed. And I thought, I think it was in February my appointment was. I was like, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out a little bit early so that I don't like get a new one and then like get it out a couple months later. That seemed kind of dumb to me. So then I was like, we'll just give my body time to regulate. I always had weird periods like before going on any birth control. It's hard to say, you know, exactly why that was. And after I have this baby, we'll see what my periods are like, because it's obviously been a long time since I've had regular cycles, especially as an adult. Like, I've never as an adult had really a period. Like, I've always been on birth control. So a lot of that I think could have just been hormones regulating early on as a teenager. I weighed a lot less as a teenager. I know that can be a factor. But I would have really long, kind of inconsistent cycles. So anywhere from 45 to like 65, 70 days, very long. But, you know, there was that big range where it wasn't like always 50 days. It really ranged. So I wanted to get off my birth control earlier because I figured that we would have some difficulty because of my prior periods. That was not the case. So, you know, we knew like that it could take a while or it could be really quick, and you never know. So, you know, I would just say that obviously whenever you're not on birth control and like you're either actively trying or not preventing a pregnancy, to be ready for it to happen immediately. So in mid-February, I got my IUD removed, and I'm gonna actually look at my app so I can tell you all the dates and stuff. But I got that removed. It was like totally fine. For me, it was like the insertion and removal was really no big deal. I had some cramping, but it wasn't really bad. I think it was like February, maybe like 9th, 10th-ish, around there. I marked that I had bleeding, like a period, on the 24th, so about 2 weeks after. That's kind of hard to say what it was though, because for me that's shorter than a regular period, and I remember it being pretty light bleeding as well, which was interesting. Like, I would say that normally I have a pretty just regular, on the lighter-ish end, but pretty regular period. And after that, I didn't get another period. So that was February 24th that I last had bleeding. So then we were kind of like, should we just start trying? And I got really excited, and we both agreed that we were ready to, start trying. This is how I was originally tracking everything. I first started tracking ovulation March 8th. And I was using these naturalist tests, then I moved on to the Pregmate ones. And it wasn't until late March that I started putting them into pre-mom, and that gives you kind of a percentage. I thought, maybe I'm having a regular period. That was about 2 weeks after I had last, had a period. And I tested, 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 and it was never coming up with anything groundbreaking. And so I was thinking, maybe I have PCOS or something, where it's always going to come up slightly more elevated than nothing, but never amount to a really high LH level. So I kept on testing. Remember, I started March 8th. My peak test was April 8th. I tested for a month to get my peak, which my peak came on, it was cycle day 50, I think. Something like that. Maybe late 40s. Very late in my cycle, right? That's not normal. And it wasn't even a high peak. So, like I said, you're looking for the test line to be as dark or darker than the control line, which on pre-mom would show up as a 1. The ratio is test line, control line are 1 to 1. My highest peak was a 0.66. That's as high as I got, which was dark, but not as dark as the test line, certainly not darker. That's as high as it ever got, because I was testing pretty frequently, and that was midday. So I had tested at 6:30 in the morning, then at 4 o'clock, so before work, after work, and then I tested at 6:30, 8:45, and it went down after the 0.66. So it's possible that I had a lightning fast peak, and it peaked midday while I was at work, and I don't really have the luxury as a teacher to be taking ovulation tests whenever I want. So I'll never really know. The thing that also made me think this was the real deal was that before that my numbers had been 0.2, 0.1, and then it slowly rose a little bit to 0.31, 0.39, and then it jumped to 0.66 and then went down. And I kind of tested out my LH until it was a 0.07. That was the last time I logged it on April 18th. So I was okay, this has got to be it then. So I figured my ovulation would be April 9th or 10th. I also took a digital from pre-mom, not pre-mom, Pregmate. Was I saying pre-mom for the strips? It's the Pregmate strips. But I took 2 of those, and the, excuse me, the digital ovulation, and the digital ovulation test came back positive on the same day that I got that peak with the Pregmate strips that I put into the pre-mom app. That's what it is. So I figured, okay, this has got to be it then if that's how it's coming up. So we, as they call it, baby danced the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So that would have been the day before peak day, and then what I thought would have been ovulation. And that was it. And so then I was waiting around, you know. Funnily enough, the 10th, April 10th, I was on spring break, and we went to Nashville. So that was a wonderful distraction. Little did I know I was pregnant then, just barely. My camera overheated and shut off, so I did my mascara, but my makeup's done. Pretty simple. I'm actually gonna spray in some dry shampoo. This is only second day hair, but I'm trying to make it last, and I love this stuff. The Hosk Chia Seed Volumizing Dry Shampoo. Really, the reason I love this is because it smells incredible. Oh, it's just so good. But I started testing very early. I mean, I had a million pregnate strips. I was kind of like, whatever, you know, I'm not expecting anything, but I probably was taking tests at like 6 DPO, like really stupid. You know, when you're like, you're gonna see nothing, but I was just doing it just for fun, you know? And I logged in the Premom app, or on my Flow app, that I had tested on 8 DPO. It was negative. And that was April 17th. On April 18th, I took a test, probably in the morning, that was negative. But in the evening, I took a test, and at first I was like, you know, this is negative. We're still only at, what, 9 DPO, was it? 7, 8, 9? Yeah. So I was like, I still doubt I'm gonna see anything. Most people don't see things until like 11, 12 DPO. On the night of the 19th, I took a test in the evening as well, and I was like, I don't know, I see something there. And I was like really struggling to see this, okay? Like it was like, is there the teeniest little shadow? And I showed Joe, and at first he was like, there's nothing there. And then I was like holding it in the light just right, and he was like, I think there might be a line there. And so we were both like, okay. But somehow that didn't like really register in my mind. Like it wasn't a, oh my God, I'm pregnant sort of feeling. It was just like, that's interesting. Let's see what tomorrow's test looks like. The next day, that morning, on April 19th, I was 10 DPO, and I filmed that. That was the first TikTok that I made. I had been like kind of filming my symptoms and kind of like talking about a couple of things. And I took a first response, and it was positive. Like it wasn't like blazingly positive, but there was no mistaking it. It wasn't like a test where you had to struggle to see. It was positive. And I was just like, oh my God, like it worked. And oh my God, I'm pregnant, and like I'm gonna have a baby, which I'm still thinking. I'm like 15 and a half weeks, and I'm still like, yeah, I'm not having a baby. What? I look at our announcement pics and I'm like, that's us? Oh my God. It was crazy that it was like the first cycle we tried was a success. And I will say, we are so beyond blessed that it was quick for us. And I do not take that for granted. I was expecting to struggle in a lot of ways, and am just so thankful that it was simple for us. However, I will say that it was not necessarily easy. having that really, really long time before ovulation was really hard on me, because it wasn't just, oh, I am gonna wait. Like, I was thinking I could have started a new cycle already and I haven't even ovulated. And the thought that I kept on having was, oh my God, if this cycle isn't successful, this is going to take us forever, just because how long the cycle was. And so I was getting really discouraged, and I was just like over testing every day, but I didn't know when it was going to happen. It could have happened at any moment, and we did want to try, like actively try at that point. So it wasn't something that I was just going to leave up to chance. I wanted to catch that peak, and having to test every day, sometimes twice a day or 3 times a day for a whole entire month, thinking that it was, and seeing those like unsuccessful tests every day was tough. I mean, I basically had like the equivalent of like a failed cycle before I even got my peak, because it took so long. And you know, that was only testing. That was 30 days of testing plus like what, the week and a half, 2 weeks prior to me starting testing. So I just want to say, even if, you know, someone seemingly got pregnant easily, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was like painless or that it was super simple, because I know that's what it looks like, that it was like, oh, that happened fast. But there were several nights where I was just like sobbing, thinking that this was going to be an epic fail, and what am I going to do if I never ovulate and then like never get a period? Like, this just goes on for all of eternity is what it felt like. So I'm just so thankful that eventually something happened, and I'm hoping that the next time we try to conceive, that maybe it'll be a little bit easier, because I will know my periods a little bit better. Although I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I might just put an IUD in right away, since that was really successful for me. And I don't want to have a 5-month oopsie like I see a lot on TikTok. So that's our story. I am now 15 weeks. It's so nice. It's been so chill lately. I'm just like so happy, so excited. I'm finally starting to get the teensiest little bump, which I'll show in like another update later on. But yeah, that was our journey to our little bub. We still don't know if Bub is a boy or girl. We're waiting until our anatomy scan, because the genetic testing we did not have the sex as a part of the results. So gotta wait until anatomy scan, and then a week and a half later for our reveal with our family for us to find out as well. So lots to be excited for still. I am just like so thankful that it's my turn to be pregnant. And that like my dream is coming true, and that I don't have to wonder like, oh, when am I gonna get pregnant? When am I gonna get to experience this? Like, it's like now. I'm experiencing it now, which is like so surreal to me. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling, because I could go on forever, and I'm gonna go film some TikToks. Probably gonna talk about the exact same thing. But yeah, I hope you were excited for this journey. I cannot believe this. I can't believe it. I took this yesterday for our pictures, by the way. This is like the first time I've taken a digital. And I keep this by my bed along with the first response test, because it's just so exciting. I'm having a baby. Oh my God. That's so crazy. All right. So I'll keep you updated with this. Hope you're excited. I'm thrilled. Joe's thrilled. I will see you in my next video. Bye.